Hey YouTube, this is Trains and Destinations, and today I'm going to give you all a quick review of the 2019 Acer Spin 1. So, looking around this laptop, it is made out of plastic, but it is a nice feeling plastic. I mean, by that, it's high quality, doesn't feel hollow or easily scratchable. It does feel pretty durable, although it is a bit of a fingerprint magnet. As you can see, you can see imprints of my fingers right there. So this is a bit of a fingerprint magnet, just to let you all know. Now, as far as the port selection goes, on the left hand side you have here, from left to right, you have your power connector, HDMI, USB 3.0 and micro SD card slot. And then on the back of the laptop you have nothing. And on the right side of the laptop here you have your power button, headphone jack, and you also have your USB connector. Now, opening up the laptop, this does have an 11.6 inch 1366 by 768 display, as well as a keyboard obviously, and a Windows Precision trackpad. Now, as far as the keyboard, I'd probably give this, it's a good keyboard. The keys, as you can see, have a nice light travel to them. There's not a lot of travel, but they feel very springy and easy to use. The only thing though is that there is a bit of flex. There's a bit of flex in the keyboard as you type on it. So let me just give you all like a quick typing sample. So I can type pretty quickly on this laptop. The keyboard does feel comfortable, but there is just a little too much flex for my liking. But, you know, and there's not a lot of travel, but the keys are springy, they're light. You can type pretty quickly on this keyboard. As far as the display goes, it is a 360-degree hinge, so you can flip it back. So you have, this is called tent mode, and then you can also flip back the screen and use it as a tablet, and it does work as a tablet. It's not, as far as the display goes, it's okay. Because of the resolution being somewhat low, it's not the clearest. Like, the picture is not the clearest or the sharpest, but it gets the job done. And for an 11-inch screen, it's fine. And as far as battery life goes, it's good. I usually get about 7 to 8 hours on a charge just doing web browsing, you know, looking at videos, just normal stuff. So as long as you're not doing things like, you know, video editing or gaming, you know, you can easily get 8 hours out of this guy. And speaking of the specs, this has an Intel Pentium N5000, 4 gigabytes of RAM, and 64 gigs of eMMC storage, and that's all been pretty nice, as well as front-firing speakers. Although, while these are front-firing speakers, there is absolutely no bass. These are very tinny speakers. These are essentially cell phone speakers. So they're not that good, but they get the job done. So overall, I do like this laptop. Now, for me personally, I am going to return it because, at least on my particular unit, the display is crooked. So what I've discovered is that the actual screen does not match with the bezels. So the whole display is actually slightly crooked, which I think obviously is an issue. I mean, it's a quality control issue, which I think, why didn't Acer see it? Because, you know, at first I didn't notice it, but it's one of those things where once you notice it, you can't look back. The whole display is crooked. And how I noticed that is that when you have the laptop on, there's like more of a gap on this side than this side. So, I mean, as you can see, I mean, you can't really see it, but there is a slightly larger gap on that side compared to that side. And, you know, it gets distracting. And so, you know, I'm not going to say, oh, don't buy this laptop because of this. I'm just saying that I do recommend this laptop, but I would be careful. Yeah, you can see right there. So you can kind of see right there. Yeah, you can see between where the actual screen is compared to the bezel on that side. And how on that side it goes pretty much down to the edge. You don't see any gap. But on this side you can see right there a little gap. And that gap right there is what I'm talking about. So the screen is crooked. And even here at the top you can see the little gap right there in the middle. And you notice how here in the middle, the gap is not as wide. It kind of thins out a little. So the display on this particular unit is crooked, which is why I'm returning it. So